the thing. Ah,
Yeah, I just said.
all right, all right, all right. Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Hello.
testing, 1 2 1 2.
Hi. I hope this is working, and I'm just gonna assume it is. Hello, my name is Sycra, and today I am with a bunch of my friends, and they are art people. Let me introduce them. This is Bob Meatbag from the famous Bob Meatbag channel.
Hey, meatbags, what's up?
Here we have Marius, a really cool Romanian artist who is a Romaniac.
Oh. Hey.
Following him is Siege, who is doing this really cool picture of this thing of an anime-ish girl, but I really like his new style, don't you?
Hello.
Here we have Jet from the Jetty Jet Show,
Hey, welcome to the Sycra Show.
and finally we have Will Terrell, who is away from his keyboard, and he will join us later.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Will Terrell. I like to draw.
So
Just like him.
that's and we may have some. Oh no, Bob's screen. Okay, we may have some other guests joining in later on, but if they do, cool. If they don't, we got a great lineup here for you. And if my voice sounds bad, it's because I have bronchitis. So whatever. Don't worry about it. It's cool. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
It's beautiful.
It's no big deal. And if you guys
Like the
want the sun,
Yeah, like the sun.
It's beautiful like the sun, like a baby sun from Teletubbies.
I am the sun from Teletubbies. That is probably not good. Yeah, so you guys, if you have suggestions for what you want Bob to draw, so he stops doing whatever he's doing right now, that would be wonderful. Um,
Let's look at some comments today.
yes. So what I did is I asked people on Facebook, and you didn't know? You're not following my Facebook fan page? Oh well, no, looks like you missed out.
What?
But anyway, I asked people for some questions and topics and things, and they delivered. Oh boy, did they ever! So we got some really cool questions that I'm gonna cover first of all, and feel free to answer, whoever wants to answer, if you have any ideas. Okay, so Nikki Jordan says, or wonders if we could talk about motivation and passion and life-changing events that related to our art or things that affected art or inspiration, and tips for staying driven and focused.
No.
Wow, that's a very broad.
It's a very loaded question. It's got so much in it.
Yeah. Motivation.
How do you stay motivated, Marius?
Tell him, Marius.
What?
Marius.
What? Why me? Like.
Yes.
Because we always tell them the same answers. It's like, let's hear Marius. It's always going to be the same
No.
answers.
Well,
Go, brother.
with me, I personally like to look a lot at artists that are just starting out. Like for me, like I find that very inspiring, and like the energy they some of them have. I find that really refreshing, because
Yeah.
whenever you get you look at a professional kid, they're awesome, and they are amazing at what they do.
Right.
They're already there, so it's I don't know. That's one of the things that keeps me, like, motivates me a lot, and it may sound weird or whatever, but
No, it's cool. I do that too. Like, I just go to kindergarten and I see the kids drawing with their crayons. I sit down beside them and I just take their crayon out of their hand and I start drawing my picture, and I'm like, mine's better. Give up now.
Then you feel better about yourself.
Nah, I don't do that. That's a good answer, though. Cool. Anyone else? Any
That reminds
ideas?
me of Maddox that likes to critique your children's artwork.
Oh yeah.
Maddox,
I remember
Best
that.
Page in the Universe.
Hold on a second.
Oh.
I've gotten really motivated lately. I'd like to share a little bit.
Yeah, Jet.
I think something that would really motivate you is or inspire you is when you set a big old goal for yourself. A lot of times we look at other people to get inspired. You know, they're really just amazing and stuff. But set a goal for yourself. Say, I'm gonna do this project. I'm gonna draw these many characters, or I'm gonna draw all these Disney characters. I'm gonna do something, and I'm gonna complete that goal. So you set yourself a task that you have to accomplish, whatever it is. It can be drawing eyeballs, feet, hands, anything. But when you set that goal for yourself, then there's just a list of things for you to do. And once you finish that, you can create a different list, and you constantly have something to do. And yeah,
Cool.
because I've got a project underway. The secrets.
Oh, you and your secrets, Jet.
That's secrets.
Who's the father? Who's the father? Okay. Osmel Acosta asks, has anyone ever benefited from taking other classes outside of art that helps their artwork? And then he says,
I got
for
more
example,
drawing done in history class than any other art class I took.
Yeah.
So cool.
I can relate to that.
I did the same.
But I still got straight A's in history because
Yeah.
where I failed almost every art class I took.
Nice.
Just because I couldn't do what the teacher wanted me to do.
Yeah, I did. I think I got a C- in art.
Yeah, no, me too. Is that crazy? High school?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
teachers are weird, and
I was actually outside of the classroom. We had like a glass door, big old, well, the window that was so big and you can see through the door, and we were arguing in front of the class. Like he walks me outside because he just had enough of me, and everybody's just like looking at me from the inside, like just getting scolded. Like my high school teacher hated me. I was a freshman in art school. I mean, my high school class, art class. And yeah, sometimes art teachers are mad for some reason.
They're jealous of your talents, man.
I'm not saying jealous. They're trying to get back at somebody. High school teachers.
Yeah.
Some, not all. But you guys know. Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
oh,
You should have
Yeah.
told them to make some lists. Make some lists. We'll go through them and
Oh, let's make a
get
list.
inspired.
Yeah, get inspired. Yeah, guys.
yeah.
Any
Okay.
prompts for me?
Yeah, someone said draw Sycra stealing crayons from a toddler, but I don't think that's a serious one.
No. Okay.
Enzo says, can you draw a futuristic Chinese wall fighting with intruders? Wow.
A futuristic Chinese wall, like
Yeah, wall, like a wall.
Like a holodeck.
fight. Okay, futuristic Chinese wall fighting intruders.
Indeed.
Okay.
I don't understand that whatsoever, but it's okay. Indeed, do that.
Okay, I can do that.
Indeed.
Maybe they mean the Great Wall.
I suppose so.
I can make it so.
Futuristic Chinese Great Wall
I can make
fighting
it so.
intruder. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
A guy's building a fence. Like, it's pretty good, but it's not great.
Here's some more bricks here. Maybe some technology.
Technology will help.
Technologic.
Oh, golly gosh.
I want to say that I think
Technology.
like a business class would be good. I didn't take one, but you know that I think that sort of like a class could be good for an artist or a marketing one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, business is like, what, 50% of this thing?
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if 50%, but it's quite a lot in business and
Yeah.
marketing. I feel big
Once I
part
got
of.
out of once I got out of school, I took a lot more classes. I got more serious about it, and I took a lot of business classes and how to, you know, do accounting, how to do your bookkeeping, and how to write a business plan. And
Did you feel like it helped you a
it
lot,
did.
or?
It helped me understand it a lot better.
Hmm.
And yeah, I take more classes now than I did in school.
Nice.
In the same way.
All right, let's move on to the next question. Nicholas Ekwall says, eye tracking, how to see relationships, detail, and whole in between. Where do you have to look? Do you have your focus point at the edge of the pen or somewhere else, and you always focus on the surface? I'm having problem with keeping contact with what I'm doing on the paper sometimes. I get frustrated not seeing the whole drawing for the detail, and it ends up not working. How do you go about doing it? Oh, I can answer this one. If you don't mind.
Go get it. Go get him. Get him. Kill him.
Knock this one down, baby. You can got it.
You got this, son. You got this.
I got this. I got this. So let's say I'm
I
like,
believe in you.
let's say I'm drawing this girl, right? So what I do is
Tell him, Sycra.
I'm trying. But like, okay, so I'm not drawing her. I'm just drawing the thing so I can have a thing to draw on top of. You know what I mean? Like, pretend this is this. Pretend. Use your imagination. Anyway, so what I'm doing when I'm drawing is I'm gonna draw how my eye is looking, and what I do is, like, let's say I'm drawing this hat. Then I immediately look here, and I look here, and I, like, my eye is just constantly darting over the image, so I'm checking things. Like, when I draw the waist, immediately I go across and see, like, oh, the hand sort of lines up with the waist, so I look at the hand, and I look at the shoulder, and I draw the elbow, but I'm looking, like, I'm just constantly going, boop, 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 boop. Because if I don't do that, and I just start drawing, like, start at the head, and then I get the neck, and I'm gonna exaggerate it, but eventually, you know, things get kind of wacky.
Right.
Anyway, that's how I do it.
Right.
That's how it's done. Taking notes.
Cool.
Oh.
Righto.
Anything to add, or should I go to the next one?
Go to the next one.
All right. Okay. Jacqueline Quijano, I guess, says, can you talk about art as therapy? I know our archetype of artists, as artists, has the reputation of us being depressed, manic, and having identity crisis. I just want to hear how you and other artists use it to help get through a dark period. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. How'd you do it, Bob?
Throwing people under the bus.
Video games. I played a shitload of video games.
Noise.
Oh. So, yeah, but
Use art as.
how does that work for art as therapy? Oh.
Video games are art. Okay. Well, anyways, what was the question again? Let me take this seriously.
How do you use art as therapy?
How do I use art as therapy?
Like, how do you use it how do you get through your dark periods?
Sometimes if I'm just really frustrated, because I think I had a tendency to draw screaming faces. So then when I was feeling angry or something, I just sort of like take it out on paper and just start drawing screaming faces, and that was therapeutic for me.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's using art can be, you know, like there's that expression of like we use it to express ourselves, and just it is therapeutic in a way, you know. So yeah.
Siege, how'd you get through your dark period?
My dark period. I don't know. Like with art, I've never really used art to get through much. Art, I've always kind of looked at it as kind of like I needed to do it during a happy period, I guess. Like it's always been something that I had to do when I'm in a good mood already, and I use it to kind of express things and tell stories and whatnot, like moods. But I've never actually used it as something that's helped me while I was in a dark place.
Right.
So yeah, I've always been actually. Sometimes I kind of felt like I envy people who are able to really express their own personal emotions through art because I just wasn't able to do that. So yeah, that was it for me. Kind of sucks.
Well, your art looks very happy, so that's, or like beautiful, I guess. I don't know.
Thanks, man.
I got an email from another YouTuber artist. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to embarrass him. But
It's okay. Don't worry about it, Will. You won't embarrass me.
no, it's not a bad. But it was a really sweet email. He had mentioned that he had agoraphobia and like hadn't left his house in like years on a regular basis.
Right.
But he'd been watching my videos on sketching people in public, and it made him want to try it. Like it gave him a reason to get out of the house for the first time. And he says he's been doing it now for several months, and he's almost back to like a normal life where he can get out just to go sketch, where he didn't really have that before.
Wow.
And I've had that too, like where I sometimes it's just hard, it's a struggle just to get going in the morning, and just getting out of the house to go sketch is one of the biggest motivators for me.
Yeah.
Hmm. I had a period like that. I didn't go out for like 6 months.
At all, or just like every once in a while?
At all.
Really?
I didn't talk to anybody for about. Anyway, that was a long time ago.
Well, it wasn't you. I'm not outing you.
No, your story has a happy ending anyway. It's like,
oh, okay, good, yeah.
just watch Will's videos, guys.
Oh, no.
Support him on Patreon.
I'm just trying to give an example of like how it can help,
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very awesome.
I liked it.
Okay, Vine Hunter says I guess he wants us to talk about being afraid of losing your skill as you recover from mental instability. I just want to know if any of you have experienced this. Other than that, I'm very happy you talked about depression. Oh, okay. I think there's two points to that, and one of them is that art is sort of, it's got two main components. One is the knowledge component, which is, it does feel like you can forget things, you can miss things like that. But then there's this other component that's more like riding a bike. And that's just your basic motor skills, and your eyes get better at seeing certain things. And I don't think you will lose that. I feel like that's a physical brain change. As you develop as an artist, your brain changes itself. But the other part, it's true that you might be feeling bad, and then the emotions take over, and then the thought component gets muddled up. But I think you can overcome that.
You can overcome it.
Yeah.
You can overcome everything.
Try some meditation. Focus on the focus on the good things in your life, and there's this thing called affirmations. Like, tell yourself good things about yourself and stop focusing on all the bad things. Like, reassure yourself, like you're on your way, you're doing, and you have positive intention, you mean well, and you're strong and confident. Tell yourself like that, like as if you were talking to yourself like 10 years from now, and then if you were to look back, what would you tell yourself? I think most of us would. Yeah, most of us would say, "You're fine, dude. Relax. You're fine." You would reassure yourself. You would say, "Dude, you're worrying about nothing." And so you take yourself in that kind of third person, and just say, "Look, you're fine." Say that to yourself. over and over and over, and you begin to
It's
believe it.
kind of funny. It's kind of funny when you think about it too, because like a lot of the problems that we're going through right now, like a lot of problems that you guys are probably going through right now as well. You think because it's happening right now, you think they're like the biggest things in the world. Like you can never recover from what you're going through right now,
Yeah.
and there's just nothing left. But then, like I don't know, maybe like a year down the road, you're like, wow, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
That really wasn't bad at all. Like I'm
Yeah.
thankful that I didn't give up. Because this is kind of how life is. You're gonna hit ups and you're gonna hit downs, and you're probably gonna hit a lot of downs. And also because they're negative, you're going to remember them, and they're gonna impact you a hell of a lot more than the positives. But I think you have to actively remember and look to the positives in order to really keep going.
Yeah. All right.
That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say about that.
You gotta fake it till you make it.
You gotta fake it till you make it.
You gotta tell yourself it's getting better, even if you don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually you
Yeah.
do believe it.
Yeah.
So don't tell yourself anything negative every day, or else you're gonna start believing that too.
Yeah.
Remember that. That's
Imagine this.
important.
Two people with the same skill level. One of them's sitting around going, I suck, I can't do it. My drawing sucks. And the other person's sitting around like, I can do this, this is fun, I love this, oh my god, look at this. They're drawing the same exact picture, and they're the same exact drawings. The only difference is their mentality and their outlook on the way they're doing it, and the way they see it.
Mhm.
The
I
person
always tell myself, like, don't be negative. Why are you so negative? You're so stupid. You're never going to learn.
He's not laughing.
No, I am laughing.
No, you can't be negative while telling yourself you're not to be negative. You fool! Don't be negative. What's wrong with you?
I am the best in the world at being negative. Nobody can be more negative than me.
That's pretty positive.
Yes.
That's very positive.
I'm pretty arrogant in my misery. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't you kind of feel like negative and positive, they're sort of like a circle, and they like everything at the extreme sort of meets, and it completes this ring?
Yeah.
Like on any kind of spectrum, just like like red. Even though I know ultraviolet and infrared, they don't meet, but it kind of like it's a nice thing when they meet on the color wheel. Anyway, it's like I
Yeah.
love how technical
right.
this guy.
Hey.
It's deep, man. It's deep.
This is such a hard idea that you have to do, Bob.
Futuristic wall.
I know. It's so conceptual. Okay. Excuse me. Kent Reed says...
It's a giant robot Great Wall of China.
Exactly.
Sounds great.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and screen share, but it may crash my computer. So if I drop off a line, that's probably why.
Okay.
All right. Carry on.
Okay, so one thing, Kent Reed says, one thing I always seem to struggle with conceptualizing, regardless of how good or bad a rendered image is the shadow. Do you have any tips or tricks for figuring out exactly what a cast shadow should look like? Not just shadows on the ground, but sometimes shadows cast from objects onto others, such as window frames. Oh, Marius, do you have any ideas about that?
Yeah,
Hey,
Marius.
Marius.
Well,
Come on, Marius.
Marioso.
I don't think there are tricks, in my opinion. I think like the best way you can understand that is to learn structure. Because I feel like if you learn structure, you learn where shadows will be depending on the light source.
So what do you mean when you
And-
say learn structure? What does that mean exactly?
Well, let's say you have an arm,
Mhm.
and you need to be able to break that arm into like simple planes and geometrical how I call those like not polygons objects like cylinders like cubes and stuff like that. Anyway, that's at least that's how I learned, because when I got into art, I did 6 years of sculpture, traditional sculpture, so
Wow.
that
Bloody hell.
pretty much like it kind of forced us to learn it that way. Learn like geometrical shapes. I mean, learn the anatomy in a geometrical way. So I feel like that kind of helps me a lot more than anything else.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think there are tricks, to be honest. Like, it's all about like knowing the structure, in my opinion.
That's a good
In
answer.
this case, I don't know. Maybe you guys think, have other ideas.
Say word, son.
I think that's pretty much the same as what I would say. I mean, it's not what I would say, but that's like right.
So what would you say? Let's see.
I would just say, I don't know,
Nah.
and then I'll
I
wait.
wouldn't say that.
I
That'd be
don't
my
know.
answer.
Yours is a
What
good
the hell you guys are
answer.
talking about?
I like yours. Yours. It's like that's coming from a place of like intelligence.
I like intelligence.
I do. Okay, Zara Rovenhagen asks, no, that's her real last name.
No, I was not laughing about that.
Oh, okay. Is being an artist enough to pay the bills by selling artwork or maybe having a job in a small indie game company?
Oh, this is a big one.
Yeah, art is paying the bills. Ooh.
Oh no! What? All right. What?
Dude, we were sitting around talking about this for days. It's a really big topic about surviving as an artist and understanding the ins and outs of freelancing and doing it right, because art school is not teaching us how.
No.
They actually send us out a little crippled so that when we get out there, we expect to get these jobs, but they don't exist.
I think
They're
they
all
When we
taken
get out there,
on
the
purpose.
teachers are taking all the jobs.
Yeah. It's like,
Only
okay,
teachers get the jobs you were going for.
you got like hundreds of kids about to graduate, and you're telling them, okay, guys, now go apply for Disney, and then nobody gets the job.
You guys all had a very equal chance of getting it, but not really.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, surviving. Yeah, you can survive. It's just
Of course.
very difficult.
I think, yeah. Are you still doing well, Marius, in terms of that? Because you've been someone I look up to as someone who's like sort of made it.
Well, it's been kind of like well in the past year and a bit. And I'll say you can do it. It's all about like knowing how to like I don't know how to explain. So like what I've learned in the past, because I had like a dry period since I was very good. I mean, since I had a lot of jobs. The problem was like you should never ever have just one client, like,
Mm-hmm.
ever, as a freelancer. Like, even though they, let's say you're pretty sure that you'll get work and so on. It's never a good idea to do that as a freelancer, of course.
I had
If you're in-house, that's something else. But
I had a friend that was their biggest client was Microsoft, and they had like for 10 years straight they were getting all these big design gigs for them or from them, and then one day they just decided to pull back, and that was like 95% of their business.
Wow.
They really freaked out at that point.
Yeah.
exactly, that's not a very good idea. So
I mean, a lot of people have asked me before in emails and things like, if I go to art school, how do I get a stable art career? And it's something that I just think doesn't exist. Like, no matter what level you are, you could be the best artist there ever was, and there is no guarantee of a stable art career.
I think there's no guarantee of much stable stuff, especially on this side of the world. Like these days, most things aren't very stable anymore, not like they used to be. Like
Yeah. That's a
our
really good
parents'
point.
Unless you're a horse.
Oh yeah.
But
Stable living.
The only people that are in,
They have a very stable living condition.
the only people in a stable condition is
that was
horse.
nice.
this is really painful, guys. I just wanted to point that out.
It
That
was
good.
It was.
It was nice. Come
It
on.
wasn't me this time.
Oh.
Yeah, wow. First time for everything.
I there's this article I read a while back. It's one of my favorites.
It's an
talks about
article.
man's arrested for punching a police horse.
Okay, but what does this have to do with the topic of stability in art?
The subtitle of the article is "Man is in jail, horse is in stable condition."
Yes, sir.
There, see, it did go somewhere.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I think you have a very good point, Siege, because that is actually, when I hear people who are like, I can't find jobs or I don't know how to do things, I actually feel more prepared because I never had that stability.
Yes.
Yeah, same.
It's like, yeah, you learn.
I remember
how to
my
be-
old neighbor. My old neighbor, he was working this one job for years, and he's always talking about how, like, oh, you just gotta get yourself a stable job, and then you'll be okay, and you can't just run around
It's all about
out
stable.
there, run around and do all this, blah, 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 blah. You know, he knew everything, right? And then one day, he was laid off from his job, and he was just like, I don't know what to do. And then he just, like, and I can't even joke about this last part because it's, like, it got real serious real fast. But then he turned to, like, you know, to different crutches, and I'm doing air quotes right now. And yeah, and I don't even know if he got a job after that. He was working like little things, but he's just like, I'm gonna lose the house and all this stuff. He's just like, I have no idea how to go about this. I just worked one job my whole life. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to look for work. I don't know how to do this and that. And I'm just like, man, what? I don't even know what to tell you. Like, you know, and this whole time he's trying to tell me about, like, you know, just, you know, you can't do art because it's just this is that and blah blah blah. You know, he had all the answers. But then the moment that he lost that job, he didn't know what to do anymore, you know. And so it's just like, I feel like in a sense, as artists, we're kind of lucky because we never really, I mean, as freelancers, I guess, we never really have that kind of base stability. We're always kind of we're always trying, like, to look for something new.
We're always
We're always on the
hustling,
prowl.
man. We're always hustling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always, and I think it teaches us how to hustle, like, because we're always,
Oh,
yeah, and
we have to.
we have to. So, damn it, I lost my thought. Freaking A.
What do you think about horse?
It's like a slippy fish, yeah. Horse! Horses are awesome.
Yeah, but I think you can get at a certain point. You can get really, really like comfortable as a freelancer. Like if you do all the things right and you know you don't like slack around and all of that, and you're always looking for clients, you know, you should be okay.
I kind of remember my point. So, so I'm not like an expert or anything. It's been about, you know, 3 years of freelancing, but I always make sure I have at least 3 jobs at the same time, so that once I'm done with one, the other one's ready to go. And yeah, you're always constantly learning how to find jobs, and that's something that you need to understand as getting into freelancing. It requires you to hustle, and that's a skill not everyone can do, you know? Because yeah.
And the job you're doing now isn't to pay the bills you need this week, right?
No, yeah.
Oh no. What was that?
The job that you're finishing this week isn't for the bills this week, right?
No.
No, you're paying this job that you're finishing this week will pay the bills 6 months from now or something like that.
Yeah. You should, and like,
I think that's where most people screw up. I know that's where I screwed up. Where I was doing freelance hand to mouth, like I got to finish this job today because I need to pay this bill tomorrow.
Yeah. No,
And
I mean,
that's a terrible feeling. Like it makes you resent your work,
yeah.
and it makes you even resent your clients if they are slow. You know.
At the beginning it was, but then I started getting the hang of it, like how to hustle, how to like negotiate prices, how to just, if you get a job, you know, you go look for another one, and then you have that one on the line, and then once you're done with the other one, you raise your prices, and you go into getting a different job, and then you constantly have this flow of jobs, and then it's not as bad as it was. So it's gonna be hard at first.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I hate. Is like negotiating prices. Like I hate that.
Yeah. Oh, you hate it?
Yeah, I just don't like it. Like, don't like it.
I hate it too, especially when they say, like they expect you to come up with the fair price, I always feel really nervous because it's like, what do I say? Do I say the old price or like a new price?
I mean, it's easy when you have a lot of work. It's really easy because you just like, you throw it out there because you don't give a fuck if you get it or not. Oops, are you allowed to swear?
It's fine. Go on, man. Don't.
And but if you don't, then it's kind of tricky because you don't want to, throw it away, and you don't want to get a really, really shitty, price for the work. So
Here's
Yes, sure.
some advice I want to give out to some people immediately. That's really important, and that is learning how to say no. It's a hard one, but like even if you're starting off, if you're having trouble like getting them to accept your conditions, like even if it's really low conditions, like really, like I'm gonna say like $8 an hour, which is terribly low, right? If they don't accept that kind of condition, you say no. I'm not gonna work. Like you want me to work more than that, then say no, because if you're not respecting that and you're not able to get the work at that level, that just means the work's not for you. Or you can get a different job that you shouldn't be relying that as your sole source of income. So practice how to say no until somebody respects you for the price that you value yourself at.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because if you don't say no and you accept a job at $2 an hour, which people have tried to do, like literally $200 for a full video game app.
They do that all the time.
Yeah, $2 an hour worth like priced jobs, right? So then you say yes. You end up screwing everyone else over, not just yourself, because now it's accepted.
And also you screw over your future self because maybe in the beginning it's like, well, I'm in high school. And I don't really need the money. It's just for experience. It's like, well, but what about when you do need the money? You've now lowered the standard.
Oh yeah.
So here's also a good practice. If you're having trouble figuring out a price, somebody comes up to you like, "Hey, what's your price?" Give them 3 options, 3 different levels of details. Give them your high tier, like don't hold back. This is what you'll get for the best quality of work I can provide. And then you give them a medium level, and you show them an example, and then you show them the very simple level. And then it's up to them to decide how much can they afford. So that way, you got all the grounds covered.
Do you think that's a good idea, a pretty good practice? I never tried it, but
oh, absolutely! I've got actually very surprised. Like where my clients, I'm hoping that they'll choose the lowest one. They actually choose the highest one. I'm like, great. Now you're affording yourself the leeway, and you know that you're testing the waters. You're figuring out how much money they actually have to give or spend, right? Because you're like, hey, this guy might have some money, or maybe they can afford a bigger project. So I'm going to provide different options for them and see if they are able to afford it. Instead of just, I'll do it for $2 an hour.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's, if you get to that point, it's just better to do like a personal piece for your portfolio instead of doing the job. Like it's way more, like I don't know. It's just more valuable.
Do personal pieces to keep some variety and options for them, and
Oh, people want me to read stuff. Come on, man.
Oh man.
But I've been reading the Facebook questions first because I still have a bunch of them. I'm sorry, people in the chat. Yeah, the bearded guys will, and also. Someone asked how to take a complete mannequin figure and turn it into a character. Oh, Jet has that covered. You need to head on over to the Jetty Jet Show. Oh. The channel name is and then Jet for like a jumbo jet, and then Jetty again, like Jet again, but with TY, and then Show.
Oh, thanks.
It's a good channel.
Well,
Bob, you did it, Bob. You made something out of that idea.
Okay, that's good. I was afraid I failed.
No, you did it.
I've made something out of this.
Let's see if I can find you another prompt. Someone says, has Bob thought about releasing a sketchbook?
Huh. I've
he
not
just
thought
thought
about
about
that. Ah. Thank you for the idea. I'll take it as mine.
Someone says, Sycra fighting Bob in a bar. Well, that's always you and me, Bob.
Yeah.
Guys must really hate each other.
So if I could tell myself anything, I think that's one of the things I would tell myself, like early legit artists. I would say don't accept the jobs. Don't accept it. Wait, do something else. Like wait until someone respects you for you. Otherwise, you're gonna beat up yourself. Pull down the value of the economy, not the economy, the art industry, freelancing industry. Just screw it up for everyone.
If someone's worried about being colorblind, there are artists who are colorblind.
Yeah,
So,
I've seen some artists who are amazing who are colorblind.
You can overcome.
You
Yeah.
shall.
Gonna
Hey, there
be
are
a
blind people
bit-
who.
What was that?
Huh?
I didn't hear anything at all.
I didn't.
Huh?
Huh?
Way. Okay. So that was a long answer to that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Well,
We covered that one. Oh, one more thing on that topic before I just
before you forget.
end it. I couldn't find you a prompt, Bob.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. If you can you find one? Anyway, one thing I wanted to say though is that at some point, let's say you're working in the studio. That's one thing. That's fine, and that's sort of where you have the chance of making the most money, at least in the beginning, compared to. I mean, at least you have more stable. It's not fully stable.
Oh yeah.
But there's this other thing, which is that at some point you just gotta determine what kind of lifestyle do you need, and how much do you need to afford that one, and that can change, and that should also determine how much you spend in terms of your work. So right now I am having a pretty not easy, but I'm not spending a lot of money, so I don't need to make as much, and I can focus much more on personal projects.
Right.
Whereas before, I was much more worried about I need to make enough more money. Okay. Okay. Marcel Ma asks how to use less strokes to get to the goal.
Ho!
Knowledge.
How to get better without having too much time. I am a trainee, and right now I have not that much time to improve. What can I do? How to create great atmosphere and depth in pics, and how to get the right colors so that it looks realistic, and how much contrast is enough. Wow.
That's.
A lot of questions.
There's no real shortcuts, but for drawing, practice drawing with pen. Just don't erase. That's a start. Just draw with pen. No erasing. Something I wish I should have done more of. I can still do, but look at Bob. He goes direct. He doesn't draw guidelines. If you look at my drawings, I've always got guidelines and stuff.
I got some guidelines.
You got some guidelines, but mine's are really messy. Really messy.
Mine's super messy as well.
Oh, I admire your messiness then.
Oh, thanks, man.
Hey.
Keep stroking that.
Hey everyone!
Hey, Will.
It's me, Will Terrell.
Hi, Cynics.
Hi guys. I've been working on that impression all week long.
Have you?
Nailed it.
Boy, I tell you what.
What's Will drawing? What are you guys doing? What are you guys talking about?
I'm drawing a cat dinosaur.
It looks adorable.
We're talking about drawing while drawing.
Oh.
Someone was saying, Will, and I don't know if this is even possible, but something about the focus on your drawing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bit hard to see.
Yeah, it's a crappy camera. And then for some reason, my Mac, whenever I screen share while I'm doing a Google Hangout, it crashes my computer.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
How racism.
I'll
You
switch
heard it
to.
here first. Don't get a Mac.
I love my Mac.
Hey, I'm using Mac.
It only
Of
started.
course you are.
It only started when I upgraded to Mavericks.
Oh, that's why I didn't upgrade to Maverick.
I don't even know what that is.
It's their operating system.
And I don't care.
Oh, they have a new one?
Yeah, they have a lot. They got out of their cat thing, whereas before they kept making cats, and then I guess the new guy doesn't like cats.
He likes Top Gun.
Jesus Acevedo says, "Why is Bob Meatbag's voice so sexy?"
Ooh.
I feel like you've asked this
Hey.
question every single super stream.
Everyone
yeah.
says the same thing.
Yeah.
They're all it's like, yeah, enjoy it. It's sort of like saying, like a little bug is like, wow, why is the praying mantis so beautiful? Why don't you get closer and find out?
Sometimes I just like to take off my clothes and bask in his beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Take a bath.
Just
Came
keep
to the
lis-
wrong stream.
Just keep listening to the voice. Don't pay attention to the knife.
Oh,
Oh.
it got weird.
Lee Bowen says, how to get good line art on digital mediums and how to earn money from art. Well, we covered the money from art. Basically,
Did you? I'm sad I missed that because I want to know how to make money. Money.
I don't think you care. Six.
That's true.
Dude,
How to get line art?
Do they-
I don't
do
know.
they
Why don't
know-
you just draw with your arm? Same answers everywhere.
Can I tell them about your job, Cynics?
No, you can't tell them about my job.
Okay.
the nail stripper. Ah.
Man.
I earned 2 quarters today.
Hey, kill him.
Okay, I won't then. Okay. But it's really funny. If you guys knew, it would be really funny.
If only they knew. But they don't, and they won't.
He's really bringing in the bird seed.
God damn it. No, so to answer his question about lines.
Oh, how to get good
He's not.
line?
He's not earning chicken scratch.
I think practice, and then it also depends on your tablet, like how big it is, because if you have a really small
What?
tablet, you're most likely going to be using small movements, right?
Yeah.
Like it's harder
That's
to
what
use
she
your
said.
bigger.
Nah,
I
bro.
don't know. Let me
I
ask
disagree.
your girlfriend about that one.
Really? Really?
I disagree because I'm using a medium-sized tablet, but I don't change the settings, like you know how it's aligned to one screen, right? Well, I have 2 screens on and I'm only using the right half of the tablet all the time.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Isn't
man.
that like really confusing?
Nope. I love it. So I always use just a tiny portion, only half of it.
Yeah, I also completely disagree with Sycra. I don't think the size of the tablet matters at all.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
really.
It
But
does
you-
for me because I use my arm and
In
shoulder.
terms
so
of
much.
like getting nice
So
lines,
do I.
like yeah, but you just don't have to go as far. You can still use your arm.
I think it
Yeah,
depends on what you're looking for. Like, I think you can get used to a small tablet and have great lines, but I feel like if you're gonna use only like a small tablet and you will only learn on that to draw and have lines, if you're ever gonna
Shut up.
Who's talking?
draw,
There he is.
if you're ever gonna have like to do that line art on paper, I think it's gonna be really crappy.
No,
I just know
I
I had a
disagree.
I
I
had a
disagree with that too because I can do line work on paper as well.
I can do everything.
I know
But
that.
okay, question. But how did you learn line art?
Digitally,
Oh, really? Okay.
Ooh.
yeah. I'm very
He's
bad.
hilarious. We got shut down.
I just think it's different for everybody because everybody everybody's a special snowflake and whatnot. So
You know what I'm
we
saying?
all learn
Depends on how you
differently.
learn.
and-
I think
yeah,
it's all about like experience, right?
I'm saying.
yeah. It just depends on you, really.
I'm saying something.
Yo, Will, what brush are you using? Is that a Pentel Pocket whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thought I
Yeah,
recognized.
see?
Real recognize that. Yeah.
Real freaking nice.
Real recognize Will.
Ugh.
Someone is
I love
asking
that brush,
if
by
you
the way.
are
That is a
drunk.
great brush pen. I use one too.
They're
If
pretty
anyone
nice.
needs a brush pen, that Pento pocket brush, whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
Pocket brush.
Yeah.
This advertisement being brought to you by. And
Slapstick figured out your job and actually got it right. Jesus,
Oh.
that's amazing. That's not much information to figure that out on, so I'm impressed.
Gotta love that internet.
Sorry.
Okay.
Um, Jiraiya. Oh no, would you paint over the sketch? Ooh, anyone want to do a paint over
Of what?
well,
of a sketch of that? Remember that one with the crocodile belt thing?
Crocodile?
What? Interior crocodile alligator.
Don't get him started. Don't get it warmed
I
up.
drive a Chevrolet.
We could be here all night.
I drive a Chevrolet movie theater.
Oh,
I'll just screen share it. How about I screen share it, and then if you guys wanna
how do I paint over your screen share?
How do I paint
Well,
it now?
okay,
Show it to you,
fair enough. I'll post a link in the thing, and then
Like-
you want to do okay, you do an overpaint, Nix.
If
It'll keep you from saying silly things.
no, it won't. You guys nuts? We
So
all know
funny.
cynics here.
I like how he has gold chains.
Okay, I'm gonna screen share now.
Two
There,
chains, but I
that's the
got
one.
me a few on.
That one, and they're going to do the paint over. I hope so.
what the heck?
Oh, I didn't.
What
I,
accent was
I
that?
didn't show my screen.
What accent was that, Sycra?
Yes, I know. What was that?
Yeah,
Bangkok.
what the hell
That one that had that accent like that one. All right.
So you had all week to prepare a bunch of questions. You even
got
asked
them.
in advance. Oh, you do? Okay.
Dude, I'm.
You just seem very flustered about the whole question.
No, dude.
Prepared.
You're stressing
Look,
yourself.
look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! I got it highlighted and everything. What? Yo, man, I'm prepared, yo.
That's my birthday.
Yo,
Can you give me a shout out?
No.
Yo, did you give that
Give
person a
the
shout
shout
out yet?
You gotta give the shout out.
Not to Daniel Hugo Salvador. Happy birthday, Daniel Hugo Salvador.
Happy birthday to
Psychers have this adorable regressed puberty thing going on all the
I
time,
know.
dude.
Thank
It's so
you.
cute.
Will gets it.
One day I'm gonna grow up and then you'll all regret it.
I'll be a real man.
I will be a real boy.
Man.
So what's the next question on the list?
It's from Isaac Espidia, I guess. I'm sorry, Isaac.
What up, Isaac?
Can someone be truly successful and get to a professional level in the concept art industry without going to a dedicated school or while living in an area where concept art isn't prominent at all, almost non-existent? Also, how to deal with relationships while trying to improve. Feng Zhu has said in his videos that he didn't socialize much for a few years to improve. Is that good advice?
No. Yes, no. That's
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's the
You don't need to go to
Yeah.
art school to be successful, and about socializing, I think you need to find a good balance, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion, it may be like half a year. It will be good to like take it really seriously, but no more than that. I think it's not. I don't know. You need a
Alright.
life. You need to grab the experience to be able to draw.
You
stuff.
definitely grow the most. It's not like a matter of socializing, like partying with those people, but you need to have acquaintances that are into art. You need to have that social element because it'll make you get better a lot faster.
I think you
Whether
also
it's,
need to
even
have
if it's just
acquaintances
online or
outside
whatever, you know,
Yeah.
even if you're just talking to them on a regular basis.
Mm.
Just
I think if you keep like, let's say even if you go out and party and so on, but if you keep it at like a weekend thing, like as a weekend thing, like I think it's okay. But like you should, you should just have like Monday to Friday or even maybe Saturday. Have it for serious work and stuff, and then
Oh yeah,
rest
reward
of the time you
yourself.
can party and whatever. But
Word.
Yeah. I think socializing with people and whatnot is extremely important. Like you kind of need it if you just. I mean, it really does depend on the person, but I know like as humans and stuff, like even introverts, if you were stuck on a stranded island, you'd still probably start hallucinating and go nuts. So it's like to be kind of on your own completely forever and like without any human interaction is kind of bad for you. Also, getting experiences and seeing things and understanding things, it really does help a lot. Like that's why you'll see a lot of artists will travel. I mean, they don't need to travel in a big group, like have their entire entourage, but like just a lot of people will travel and see the world and get new experiences because like a huge chunk of art is growing your visual library, and if you're not actually seeing anything, then you can't grow your visual library, and the internet can only help you so much. Like there's a big difference between seeing a photo of a beautiful beach and actually seeing a beautiful beach. It's very different.
Beautiful Beach has a nice round.
Beach balls. Come on now. A big beach umbrellas. Come on now.
Chad Pachana says, "I'm used to drawing
She had
with my."
huge tracts of land. I forgot what movie that was from.
Braveheart.
No, it was was it Holy Grail? I don't.
Oh my God.
Where he's all like, "You're gonna marry my daughter. She's got huge tracts of land."
Oh.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Sean Connery.
No, it's a. I don't remember.
All right.
Monty Python.
No.
I'm used to Chad says, "I'm used to drawing with my shoulder when I draw traditionally, but when I practice digital on my small tablet, I feel confined to my wrist. Is there a solution for this?" Apparently there is, and the idea is if you have a 4x6 tablet, just like cut half of it and then half again, and make it real small. Use your fingernail and take your pen to your
Pretty soon
fingernail.
you won't even be able to move your wrist because it'll
Shots
be
fired.
so small.
And yet use your fingernail, but you'll make perfect lines and make perfect pictures. So
Oh
Don't
my
worry
God.
about it.
See, the thing is, you can still always move your arm. Like, it doesn't mean you have to be like making that whole giant stroke. You move your arm like you're moving strokes, but you only make the stroke for little parts.
My uncle had a stroke.
Oh.
Come on.
nice segue.
That's so funny.
Oh man.
Stroke humor.
CJ Howlett. All right.
Steve's uncle had a stroke too, but it was a different stroke.
Oh, get it. What do you mean a different stroke? Oh, different. I got it. I got it.
Beautiful.
Okay, Siege says, "These questions are awesome. I can actually answer some of them. Lol.
Give me a second.
I was wondering, why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near?"
Oh.
That's
That's first.
Because I'm
No.
covered in birdseed.
Oh.
Okay, Daniel got a shout out. What music do each of you listen to while you draw?
Yeah, I like this question, and that's my
Okay.
answer.
All right, go for it, Siege.
I think
Go
we
for
gotta
it.
go down the list on this one.
Okay, yeah. Who's first on the list?
You.
I have a
Oh,
mariachi band that follows me around. What color should I make this? Oh, I'll make it green. Just follow me
Did
down the
someone
street.
say Verde?
Okay, so are we done with that question?
oh no! I listen to a lot of trip hop, and yeah, and then I listen to like New Javis and whatnot, like the kind of the jazz hybrid type stuff, which I guess is trip hop. And then I also listen to classical sometimes, and then sometimes I'll listen to like game soundtracks because those are awesome. Game soundtracks are the best. Yeah.
Soundtracks are always fun.
Of course,
Make you
of course.
feel
That was completely unsurprising. Who's next?
It's no mariachi band. I'll tell you that.
I like to listen to the ocarina.
Yeah, thanks to me.
Thanks to C, she introduced me to someone, and all I do every time because they're so whimsical sounding. I feel like I'm on the hills of the mountains, and just
Maybe that's why the bird suddenly appears.
yeah,
Ocarina.
that's why. It just feels good. I think it picks me up. Pick me up music.
Anyone else? Anyone else want to add to that?
I listen to a lot of Elliott Smith. It's very depressing.
Wow, fantastic answer.
And then I found that if I listen to it and draw all day, it does make me super depressed. So I have to mix it up with happy music too.
Shocker,
Yeah.
right?
You ever see this ant crawling across my drawing?
I see it.
What?
It's
Oh,
out
is
of
he?
focus too.
Where is he?
No, you missed him. You missed him, Sinex.
Early. He knew you were coming.
Yeah. I had that experience too with when I moved to California in 2005.
Oh, it's back. It's back.
All the
Oh,
music,
there it is.
all the
Oh,
music
kill
I
him.
was-
Draw a circle around him, see if he moves. Oh, he's
I'm
moving.
trying.
Oh no!
I know there are certain bugs that will not cross a line.
What if
Aw.
I do an eraser? No.
Oh, he don't care. I like where this stream has ended up.
Where did it go?
So-
In the toilet?
As usual.
Dang, so close.
So close to toast.
Oh, Sycra, what music do you listen to?
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
I just listen to the sound of your voice, and that's why I'm not a very good artist. I just have your channel constantly running.
There's gonna be probably at least one guy that's listening to this while drawing somewhere down the road.
Yeah, I
That
usually
would
do
be
that.
his answer.
That's actually, yeah. I like to listen to streams and people talking and stuff. It's nice.
I do listen to podcasts sometimes. That's pretty good.
Podcasts,
Yeah.
information.
What about Marcus Aurelius here?
Yeah, what's
Marius?
up?
What's his name?
Oh, me?
His name is Marius, not Marcus Aurelius.
Whatever. I thought that was a short abbreviation.
Well, I used to listen a lot to trip hop, but recently I actually don't listen to anything. I just enjoy the silence.
Ooh,
That's
That's
the
romantic.
sound of silence. Simon
I mean,
Garfunkel.
like if I'm sketching, I like silence, but let's see if I'm rendering, like that's the only time nowadays when I'm actually listening to something. I feel like whenever I need to sketch, it needs to be silent.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. We have one last question.
Oh,
then
it's
I'm
back.
What?
The bug.
Oh, wonderful.
Are you just like in a complete pigsty? Like, what is that?
Is
I'm
it?
pretty sure that's not the same bug. Are you just in squalor over
What
there?
are you talking about? This is
You
Charles.
lift up your paper and it's just like a bag,
Don't
a
talk
bag
about
of
Charles
trash.
like that. He's my friend. He watches me draw while he's alive.
I'm surprised your cat hasn't eaten him yet.
They don't go for ants usually.
Oh. Okay. So Caleb, what's that? You could cover a schedule for SupaStreams? No schedule.
No schedule. These are,
Yeah, no, we don't
No.
know the schedule. It's
This is
too
like-
hot. Too hot to do schedule.
Stay here for an hour.
We have to find all the people, and it's too hot. No. And on a vein similar to Mark Crilly's videos, how do you deal with much younger artists seeming so much better than yourself? Dude, you just get used to it. I've seen that so much.
Well,
Man.
it doesn't even matter really. Like
Doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter.
tell them, Sage.
Because there's always gonna be somebody better. That's just kind of how it goes.
Maybe better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's better than you, Sinex.
Yeah, for God's sakes, is the greatest artist that's ever lived.
Thank you. I've been waiting so long for you to say that.
That's that affirmation. I mean, it's actually a good thing. You gotta tell yourself, I was the greatest boxer that ever lived. I'm the greatest there is. I'm a swing like a butterfly, swing like a bee.
Oh, that actually, okay. This
Yeah.
adds to the question about what do you listen to when you draw. I just
listen
listen to interviews of myself or just myself talking.
No, that's
But
just
you
all
edit-
of it.
You edit all the boring
I'm gonna
parts
be
out
the
of
one
other
listening
people
to this super stream on a daily basis.
My favorite part was the cynics part.
Ooh, you tell him, cynics.
You're telling yourself that.
Yeah, that's me.
He rewinds it. Oh, that's a good part.
Mm.
Get better than that.
All right. Now to the questions in the chat.
Okay.
Oh boy. When will I interview Feng Zhu? No, that's not a good idea.
As soon as he
Um,
grows some boobies.
Is using Gothic Gamers asks, is using a manga style of drawing in your portfolio necessarily bad in the industry? Is it considered unprofessional even if you know fundamentals?
No.
Well, depends
I-
on what industry you're going for.
Yeah, as an industry isn't just one thing. There's lots of different ones.
Right, if you're trying to get onto Broadway, you don't want to put that in there.
Yeah, see, that's
Yeah.
a good one to know.
Just remember, the people that are looking at your portfolios are basically just other artists, like, us or whoever. So if it's good art, they'll appreciate good art. They usually don't have any strong bias toward like styles.
I mean,
art teachers, which in that
depends-
case, they hate everything.
Yeah, it depends where you're going as well. Like, if you're applying to a company that they want you to do like a certain cartoon style, and all you do is a completely different style, then maybe they wouldn't be into it. But then, why are they looking at your I guess that's what you're saying.
Why are you trying to work for them?
I
You
think
should be sending them that.
you
if
do
that's what
have
you're going for.
you do have to cater your portfolio. That's true though. Like, look at your wherever you're applying to and think like, well, does my work resemble the work that they're doing? And I don't mean outright copy them, but make sure your work fits with them.
Yeah.
Word.
Unless you're like a super famous artist, and then other people just contact you because they want your ideas and just want you to blue sky
promote.
things.
Yeah.
I think that comes with time too. Actually, because I've seen some artists who like their work doesn't look like it's the best, but they still get to work in their approach all the time. And I think that just comes with time.
Yeah, or if people really like your stuff, which is why I think DeviantArt is good, because it lets employers know that you're popular and that your
that
style.
is in
Because
demand.
so many people just don't want to take a risk, and that's also why it's much harder to get your first job than it is to get your second if you've done well, because in the first job no one knows you, you're an unknown entity,
Variable.
but maybe if you do a good job, then eventually you build a reputation.
Damn it, my
It can
computer
go the
stopped
other way
working.
too. If you do a bad
Yeah,
job and you
I
mess
know.
up and you don't keep up.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Just like that.
I like your rhinos in space.
Thanks.
Where'd the idea come from?
It was one of the prompts.
Oh, for Bob Meatbags.
No. It was in the chat.
Oh, good. Good on you, Bob. Jeff.
Yeah.
Bob. Sorry.
Bob.
Oi Tuturu says, do you ever drawn porn? Are you ashamed? I did once, like a really, really long time ago. And was I ashamed? I guess, because I never showed anybody.
Never too late.
Okay.
But I think I was like 13, so it's, whatever.
Oh yeah. I guess there's a bit of a difference there.
Shoot.
What up, Jet?
Man, nothing. I got lag. I can't
What
draw
happened?
anymore. It's frozen. I'm not even touching my canvas anymore. It's still moving.
Damn,
Okay.
son.
You got
Whoa,
that.
whoa, fight
That
power.
lag.
Oh.
Israel Sanchez says, "Can you do a video on simple forms and shapes for the human body like your lightning bolts?" Again, Jetty Jet Show.
Oh, come on now. You got plenty of episodes. You got plenty of episodes where you cover that. But yes, I will cover those as well. The Jetty Jets. Damn it.
Oh, Vincent says in the UK they have a set list of what you should learn just to pass the exam, so it looks good on the school. I should have gone to a better school.
Oh.
Why is it so long?
Like that. I should have gone to a better school.
Oh. Hey, Sycra, just real quick question. What time were you planning on running this till?
50 more minutes.
3 weeks.
That's all? 15 more minutes?
Dude, you told me 3
5-0.
weeks.
5-0.
Oh, 5-0. Okay, God. Well, in that case, I'm thinking I'll do an animation. I need a prompt, though. Go get a prompt from the chat. I can't even see
All right, guys, what do you want
for
Cynics-
animating. I'm going to animate something.
What do you want Cynics to animate? Make it doable. Like, don't say animate, this huge story of.
Oh, do a ball bouncing.
That's boring. You're boring.
How about a leaf floating in the air?
Ooh,
How about a
Very
dust
complex.
cloud moving around a little?
The dust bunny. Animated dust bunny. Dust bunny.
Shoot. Why is it so slow? Did you do this, Cynics? It was you.
No.
It's always cynics.
No.
I can't do it.
Let's see if you got any comments. What about when it's your own little sister who's better at drawing than you?
Break
That's
your
what
fingers.
fists are for. Yeah, exactly. Just punch him in the head. It's like
We just forget everything. she's
Punch the
learned.
talent out of them.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
It's,
Semi just says animate me picking up girls, which wouldn't happen. So
What happened? What?
he says animate Sycra picking up girls, but that's impossible.
Ooh. Shots fired.
Burned by yourself. Self-inflicted burn.
Self-inflicted burn.
Ooh. How do you even do it?
I used to draw pictures for my grandma, says Vincent Daly. That was better than school. Yep.
Ooh.
Is it?
I never drew.
Nate Bot says, is it normal to draw like crazy for a few days to a week, then go dormant for another week?
Yes.
It's called
That's-
burnout.
That's like Cynics' way of doing it, right, Cynics?
Yeah, Mount St. Helens approach. Just blow up and then stay dormant for a while.
Yeah. No,
Never
dude,
know
that's
when I'm gonna blow. Ooh, better run away.
I'm gonna art all over the place.
no snap. Yeah, that's my approach too. Life.
White Hooves says Rake draws hentai and that guy's dope. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Right.
right, yeah.
Right.
Hey.
I was just like, what did you just say?
Does he draw hentai? I thought he just draws like girls.
No, he has like a
website.
hentai site. Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Pay side. That's how he makes all of his money. He's
Really?
He's rolling in the dough. God damn.
Rolling in that filthy dough.
That's almost as bad as drug money. I'm gonna get into that
That's
business.
juice money. The
I
worst
remember
kind.
when I was at animation school, a bunch of teachers like secretly told me like, you can make a lot of money doing like animated flash, like porn. There's a lot of studios underground. I'm like, what? And he's like, they're underground. There's a lot in Vancouver. I'm just telling you, there's a lot in Vancouver. If you want to make that money, I'm like, okay.
To make that dough.
Dang.
That's awesome. See, I don't know. I guess it really depends on what you're into and where your limits are. Because if you have no limits, like you literally have no filter, then hey, go for it. Who cares?
I got no limits. I know most people do, but I just think it's funny. Like the more weird it is, it's like I know, Bob. You have no limits.
Yeah.
What are you doing, son? Like, start rolling in that dough. Roll in the deep.
Yeah, I gotta start doing that.
Honestly, I've heard that a lot of people that do like furry commissions and stuff like that, like just regular furries, they make a ton of money. But then like the sexual furry stuff, that makes even more, like a lot. And it's like I have friends that were doing it, and they were just starting school. No, they were trying to pay to get into school, and like at the time they weren't that good yet, and they were just it was ridiculous.
They became.
Well, I've already made furry art, so.
Oh yeah,
You just need to take off their clothes, and you'll be rolling in.
No, I think he did already.
Nice, nice. That's good. That's awesome. Okay, keep it up.
It's already on my channel.
Oh.
Hey, I know what I'm watching today.
Husky asked, "What's so wrong with working in a bird store?"
Nothing really.
Nothing.
That's right.
Polly Pocket. Toot, toot, toot. Sorry.
I knew a teacher who he said he liked to work in the university because there's, a lot of people with similar minds than him who can challenge him, and I think for the bird store it's the same thing.
You gonna take that, man? You gonna take that?
No. Dude, you have to get in the science lab for that one, man. Conjure some chemicals to defeat that.
Burn.
Wolf King asks, "Is Photoshop really hard to use? It's the learning curve too great for people who are, lack of a better term, kind of stupid. And if so, how do you learn?" Go ahead.
I don't think it's that hard.
I got
to
an
learn
answer.
the basics of painting.
The funniest thing is Cynics is one of the smartest guys I know, so.
Shit.
Oh.
Why is it so slow?
Cynics is really smart. It's kind of weird.
I know, it's annoying. He's one of those smart, talented people. It's
Ew, I
I
hate
like where this
those.
chat is going.
Let's burn him. And just light him on fire.
I don't want to do that, but
No, that's just kind of how I do things.
Actual burn.
Actual burn. They're just dousing him with gasoline.
Oh my god, this is so frustrating.
Oh, what's going on, chat?
What's going on there?
It's just laggy Lagerson.
Laggy McLagerson. I met
Yeah.
What program are you in?
that dinosaur is really shiny. Or is it Godzilla?
It's Godzilla. I only had a blue marker around. Why is it so, ugh?
Out of focus?
Yeah.
Oh, you had it.
I gotta get a new webcam.
It's there. It's pretty good. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna use Photoshop. That's it.
I think Photoshop's
Wait,
learning curve
What are
is
you in?
pretty steep, but
Jet, which one are you having trouble with?
Manga Studio. It's slow.
Yeah,
we
Manga
talked about
Studio.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't work when you're streaming.
It was for a second. I was fine, and then all of a sudden my computer said, "Screw you."
Sorry, bud.
It says now.
So to actually answer that guy's question, I learned Photoshop by just using it when I was younger. But I was 14, 13. And then I just looked at tutorials, and you learn let's say you learn one tutorial and basically now you know about layers, and then you learn another tutorial and now you learn about multiply, that's what that does, and then you learn a bit more, and then eventually you have an idea of what it is, and then all the other programs are pretty similar to Photoshop. So.
There it is.
Yeah, actually, that's the main thing. It's I know
If
for me,
if you really want to get good at it, you should start off drawing with a mouse on a Pentium 286.
what?
I never even...
So first you need a time machine, and then after that,
Should I show my mouse drawing?
your mouse drawing.
Mouse
Yeah,
drawing.
show
Don't
me your
discourage
mouse
the
drawing.
people. Don't discourage the people.
I thought you've never shown
Children
that
in
before?
here.
I don't think so.
Show it, Jet.
Well,
Show it,
if you're-
Jet.
Okay, you guys can continue talking. I'll pull it up.
Okay, I'm gonna continue since I got cut off twice. I hate you guys.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry about that. So, anyways, let's talk about something else.
All right, that's it. Fight time. No, I think for me, I opened up Photoshop and I did this with Painter as well, and I tried every single tool in the program, and I just sat there. I didn't remember a lot of them, but I tried them all just to see what they did, and the ones that I liked, I kept on using. And then eventually, after like what Sycra did, right, just watching tutorials and stuff like that, eventually you find the tools that you really like and you continue using them, and then you remember them. And then when you add more stuff, you don't really forget the older stuff so much because it's kind of embedded in your head. It's kind of like I autosave, like I save manually, but I do it so quickly I don't remember that I've saved sometimes, and so it's just kind of like with shortcuts and stuff in the program, it just becomes habit because you're doing it so much. Yeah.
My kind of input on that is that you can take mud and wipe it on the wall and start drawing. You can do the same with Photoshop. Take the brush tool.
My wife would not like that.
That's how you get destroyed if you're in a relationship.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of filthy house you live in.
Okay.
Mud on the walls here.
Okay. How about this? Okay, you're at like.
Is that how they do it in Cambodia?
Excuse me, special art mode.
Okay, here's my favorite. You can take freaking toilet paper and draw on that. It's just take.
Again, is how they do it in Cambodia.
No, they don't have toilet paper, man. They don't use toilet paper. Okay.
They don't have mud in Cambodia.
You would have to have water to have mud.
Yeah, they don't have Cambodian.
Oh damn.
There's some guy watching from Cambodia right now. He's like, we have water.
Yeah.
Some of my Cambodian friends.
I think Cambodian people are cool.
Wow.
I love that.
It's not what you were saying last night.
What were you guys doing last night?
I like your picture, Marius. That's a really good nose. I like your nose.
Speaking of subject changes, no.
Man.
Isis White says, any tips for someone who is a beginner wanting to pick up figure drawing but is currently terrible at it? How do you live with the first few months being terrible at drawing? Wow. Wow, you're in for disappointment. A few months? Mine's for years.
Oh, yeah.
Years.
You're gonna spend a long time not liking your stuff.
Oh.
And if you like it, you're doing
Unless
it
you're
wrong.
cynics, and then you love it.
Yeah, and
immediately.
if you're cynics, you're like, I've been drawing for 2 hours, and I couldn't be more simple.
That's why I
Cynics
paint with
school
mud
is
on the
ridiculous.
wall.
Just like my friends in Cambodia.
Cambodia. And here's the drawing. That's the one. Oh crap.
Oh, I see it. Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Okay, there.
It's gonna.
Alright, yeah.
All right. Look at that. Okay, tell them how you did that.
Okay, I did all that there in
First of all, how old were you?
I think I was 15.
Well,
I need to look.
I gotta look at this.
And I did all this through with the mouse, and I used every single line you see was a click and drag tool.
Oh my god.
So I had to figure out basically you can't draw curves, right? With like if you had a mouse like accurate curves. So what I did was I zoomed in all the way in and I just drew these see the shadows here? I took that brown color and I drew in the line for the shadow, and then I filled it in so that you didn't see the line of the shadow. But yeah, this took me about 3 months to do, and
Oh my god.
it was a learning process.
Did you like sell your soul to something?
No, he's got that disorder, right,
I got
Jeff?
a disorder. I do have it. Well, supposedly there's this thing called attention hyperfocus disorder, and it's when you focus on something for so long and you just most people have it.
Fire.
Yeah, you catch on fire.
You just Just go up in flames.
You know, like when you play video games for like 10 hours and then the sun comes up and you're like, wait a second.
I like that with video games then.
Yeah, video games.
I
that
just
works,
don't have that for anything else.
Yeah, that's the same thing for me in art. It's just...
You want to see what I did when I don't even know how old I was. But it was.
You have the worst one though, Siege.
Look at this. This is what I did with a mouse. What is this? And I didn't even the lines.
Oh, you were using a mouse. Then you're not as bad as I thought. Honestly, I thought you were using a tablet and doing these pictures. But that's okay then. That's okay. It's a mouse.
Yeah.
Look at that, and that is beautiful. Love
That's
this.
not bad. That's not half as bad as I thought you were.
I didn't even know how to draw. Like I was trying to figure out what drawing in the lines was. Like I remember asking somebody, I'm like, how do you get rid of the white edges? I was so confused. It was
That's
so
not
painful.
bad. I like this stuff. You're not that bad. That's good.
I don't know, man. This.
And this was what 4 months ago?
Jesus.
Yeah, I took Sycra's super secret class, and now I can paint a lot better than this. Thanks, Sycra.
You're welcome.
Hey, Sycra, did I ever get any prompts about animation?
Oh yeah.
Because I happened to make the one about how Sycra have a picture of Sycra picking up girls.
Screen shares.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm
ready for this. I'm waiting for life with this.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. This is Sycra picking up girls.
Oh, damn.
I don't. Huh? Oh
Dude. What's going on over here? The heck? What's happening?
Oh, the girls.
I'm so confused.
Oh my god. I think we have a winner.
Beautiful.
Oh, you're so smart.
I'll watch that later.
Okay, I better stop.
Oh, you're killing Sycra with your genius, man.
Yeah, I was about to ask,
It was a lot of hard work, but I finished my animation.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, Jesus. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyways, anybody got more prompts for me?
I don't know. I can't see anymore. My eyes are all watery. Okay. Chris Kringle says, if you're doing freelance and you want to be paid by the hour, then how do the clients keep track of them? Never understood that issue.
Sorry about that. All right. Well, can I explain that?
Yeah. Go ahead, Jess.
I'm about to explain it. It's a gauge. You don't actually like hey, I'm working like 20 hours. Like pay me. I mean, you can actually, but you gauge your work. You say this is going to take me at least 20 hours. And then you tell them your rate, like $15 an hour. This looks like a 20-hour project, so you give them different time schedules. Like you can gauge them differently. Like, you want me to spend 30 hours, it'll look like this. You spend 40 hours, it looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a really fast artist, then you can, and you're really good, then you can say like, I am $200 an hour. But then you finish the drawing in 2 hours, so then that's like a $400.
But then you never tell them that.
Yeah.
You always tell them it took 5 hours, right?
Yeah. It depends.
I mean, it's true for all the artists I know, especially like freelancers. They never tell you the true time it takes.
I do, and I also keep.
You're so honest.
Look, I'm
really honest. Forget that.
Yeah, I would never tell.
There's this program, this nice program here called On the Job for Mac. I don't know what it is.
Oh God, and
PC,
it tracks exactly how long you've spent.
Tracks exactly the amount of time you spend if you press play.
And then you minus the bathroom breaks.
If there's this thing, if you stay idle for 2 minutes, it pauses and then it asks you if you want to keep recording it or not. It just pauses, and it says it's been idle for 15 minutes. You want to add that in, and you don't. You just say no. Yeah. So honor system, or is it honor system?
I mean, I guess.
There is no honor in business.
Not honor system. Truth system. Whatever, man.
I mean, I would say don't be crazy in terms of like saying it took 20 hours when it took 2 hours, but maybe like 3 hours, 4 hours.
I heard of this guy. He was super fast, and he did typography, and he was really good. And so he would be like, yeah, it's gonna take me like 2 weeks, and then he would just take on like a ton of jobs at the same time, and he'd usually finish the work like while he was still on the phone or like in a meeting with them, and he'd just hold on to it for the whole time so he could just take on lots of work and charge really high.
Yeah,
Because a lot of people, they don't really understand how time and money works. They're like, oh, well, you're faster. That means that I can pay you less because it's going to take less time. And then you end up kind of getting like stabbed in the face.
And that kid's name was Albert Einstein.
Bam!
All Lucky 7, who has a very great name.
That's an awesome name.
Will needs a new camera. Donate, people who can. Well, I'll tell you how to donate. Funny you should ask. Will has this thing called Patreon, and he has a video if you go to his thing, and it lets you know. Well, it's a thing where you can support an artist, especially a guy like Will who
brings joy to everyone.
He joys and laughs a lot. Like
clearly, he's living in squalor, surrounded by bugs. Look at this man.
That innocent laughter is gonna fade away if he keeps having to eat cat food. So.
Yes.
Do I look like I'm starving?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
But if somebody does have a better webcam laying around, I'd happily accept it.
I think it's antique if that's why.
Huh? It's all the ads on this one. Yes.
I saw that. Don't you be shushing people.
Tell Amber to come on. Tell her
She's
to come
so
on.
rude.
Let's say hi to Amber.
Yeah, she can wave to everyone.
Amber, everyone says hi. She's
Hi, Amber. Amber, what's up, Amber?
She's on vacation.
Oh.
Oh, here, let me see your. Can I see your slugs?
Your slugs?
She's making
street lingo.
Drawing slugs.
So good.
Nice.
Wow, that's cool.
Isn't she awesome? Where are the other ones? She'll be right back. She bought glitter. She likes to add glitter to them. I think she's about to add glitter to this one. There they are. I like glitter.
That's awesome.
Nice use of glitter.
Nice use of glitter.
Oh, that is a nice use of glitter.
Yeah,
those guys are awesome.
Hey guys, I'm a slug. I'm a slug.
it looks like a hippo.
A hippo slug. That's what it is. Yeah.
Like,
Hippopotamus.
She's so awesome.
Hippo.
If anybody wants to see her sketches, she's got a webpage. It's getherdrawn.com.
Get her.
oh, get her drawn. Get her drawn.
Getherdrawn.com.
How do you spell get her drawn?
GITR drawn.com.
GITR drawn. Okay. Get her drawn. I put that on the screen share. I'll screen share that.
Get her drawn. I like that.
That's because we do caricatures together for like gigs and stuff. And when we first met, she put that on all our T-shirts and stuff.
That's so cool.
There we go.
Both
There we
artists.
go.
Artists.
That's cool. I see you in there too, Will. Like,
Literally, there's you.
Yeah.
Just snuck in.
There might actually. Oh yeah, there's a cartoon down there of me and her.
Yeah, the Star Trek one.
Yeah.
Do you guys influence each other at all?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah, like she taught me everything I know in like Illustrator and Photoshop and doing graphic design and t-shirts and all that.
I'm liking this story. I'm liking this story.
And then I've taught her a lot about cartooning and comic books and storyboarding.
Ooh.
Cool.
Denise D says, or asks, question to all artists, when will you guys come out with y'all's own sketchbook? Evan Burst just came out with this not too long ago, so looking forward to it. Oh, I actually got Evan Burst's one in the mail today. I haven't opened it yet.
Nice.
What do you mean sketchbook?
He has a book, and it's like the art of Evan Burst, so
And
it's
it's
like,
sketches or something?
it'll be like the art of cynics, you know.
Oh.
I am working on a people sketching book.
Oh.
I'm gonna try and do a Kickstarter in the next month or two.
Fight.
Why would we
Ooh.
fight about that? That's
I don't know. Somebody said, "Oh," so I just figured that was a perfect moment to say, "Fight, fight, fight." Come on.
You're an instigator. Stop instigating.
Christmas time, right? And then, man, fuck it. It's Christmas time, and you try to open up your present, and somebody goes, "Oh," and then Sage comes in, fight.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Marius, go back to stringing that down again. Like, show us the fold-out view.
The
And
what?
flip it like horizontal back and forth.
See, I can animate as well.
What am I missing?
I saw that in my thumbnail
you
when you
do that
were checking
again?
them, and I was like, you gotta keep doing that.
Do it again.
Do it again.
I just want to animate a GIF of that now.
It has to.
He's so fancy.
Brilliant.
That's perfect.
Oh, KO Script says this stream is like rated R, and then someone else said, Black Mita said rated R for wrecked.
Fight. Man.
Doesn't Rex start with the W?
The W. Yeah, I thought so, but
Not how these people dude, they invent words. I'm telling you.
R-E-K-T, wrecked.
I'm telling you, it's
sorry.
I think that Rex starts with a silent.
Get wrecked.
Steven.
You guys, you've been saying it wrong all this time.
Yeah, no, if you wreck a car, it starts with a W. If you wreck a girl, it starts with an R.
And if you wreck a stream,
I thought it starts with a D, Cynics.
dirty.
Osmo Acosta says, have any of you guys taken any martial arts? I start Taekwondo next week, and I plan to draw all these figures. Have you guys taken any approaches similar?
I know.
Jet, you taken all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah, Taekwondo was one of them. It's really fun. Really fun. I did draw some people when I was there too, like once or twice, but not often.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did capoeira.
You did capoeira? Really, Siege?
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And I'm a master
You're
of
all Eddie Gordo on them.
Oh, Lord.
I took Taekwondo for a little bit.
Really?
Taekwondo's the best.
That says kicking.
That's right.
Yeah, come on, guy.
Kicking and punching.
Wait,
I
so
did.
it's capoeira, so I can't say anything.
Capoeira.
Capoeira is like dancing, right?
Yeah, it's like dancing and flipping and all that other stuff.
And winning
So
at
much fun.
Tekken 3.
And winning it.
That's
It's true.
That's a key part of it. That's actually why I started. The only reason.
I could beat up anyone. Doesn't even matter what I do. Just press buttons.
It's not cheating. It's not cheating.
Oh. My thing has stopped updating. So let's refresh and see what comes up. Did you guys have anything you wanted to mention anyway before because we only got 20 minutes left, so.
Oh shoot! I like turtles. I like turtles. Anyone else?
Kill Dumbledore.
Like and subscribe to Bob Meatbag channel.
That's true. Like, he's the most underrated of everybody, I think.
His videos are very short and amusing, which makes them easy to watch for everyone.
It is fun for the whole family. It's fun for the whole family.
Guys, you should totally check it out.
I personally check out my videos.
You should check it out, guys. It's awesome.
The best.
Sometimes I watch them on.
Say it louder, man.
Say it louder.
I'm scared.
Get the microphone out of this shot.
He's gonna beat me. He's gonna beat me again.
Sometimes I Bob Meatbag.
Oh no, he's gonna hit me.
You're gonna get it for that. He's not gonna be happy about that. Just you wait, Jet.
Just you wait.
This is the last time you ever seen Jet on the stream, because.
No.
No,
Your ass.
Tori R says, question for you guys. How do you feel being spontaneous in art? Do you think art with less of a creative process is still art?
No, wait, what?
I didn't
No,
get that.
Less creative.
That's a Will question.
I'm
right there.
digesting that question slowly.
I like to make art by committee only. I prefer the cold vacuum of heartless.
Another one like that. Yellow Jello says, I just got accepted into Art Center, College of Design. Wow, that's quite difficult. Congrats. I am wondering, do you guys think I will be able to come out of there with a high-paying job and be able to pay off my debt?
Oh.
You may think that. I couldn't possibly comment.
You'll probably be a good artist, but I don't know about having a good paying job right out the gate. But
I heard of a guy who went to Art Center and he spent like 10 years. It was 10 years ago and he's still paying off his debt. And it's not that. I mean, the thing is, you'll probably come out with skill, but there's no guarantee that you'll be paid enough to pay off the debt because it's so much, especially with, the economy and
it's okay. Who cares? As long as you're good at art.
How much do you pay for college in America?
Depends what school, but isn't Art Center, I think, 160,000?
Like, a little more than that, I think. A little more than that.
More than 180. Something.
Yeah, 180.
Something quite silly.
It costs me like
$10.
It's going to be something really frustrating.
No, around like $4,000 for 3 years.
Are you in Germany?
No, he's in Romania. It's even worse. His rent is $80 a month.
That is terrible. Dude, my rent at my own house is $1,200, and it's my own house. Well, it's my parents, and they've left me to take care of it. And
where's the
Oh
rent?
yeah. Well, my grass is
You
greener.
late.
no, that's not that kind of rent, dude. It's like loans and stuff.
To be honest, like I feel like it's. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I'm done. I'm done, dude. I'm damn.
I just think like it would be a good idea to just move to another country and do the college and that, and
I was
Can people do that? Like, can they just go
Can I move to Romania?
Yeah, I get it.
Should you give this poor fellow some encouragement about Art Center? Like, what's good about it?
The skills? No, I think there's a lot of good artists and probably teachers. I would assume. I think a lot of good people come out of there.
I know for CalArts, the people that go through there, like when you graduate, the people you graduate with are going to be your peers in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like they're going to be
like that.
They'll be directing and working on movies 10, 20 years from now. So that's your peers in Art Center are going to be hopefully people that are successful down the road.
Yeah, so be friendly with everyone.
Yeah, it's a lot of debt. It is, but there's. I would recommend try and work harder than everybody else there.
That's a
I
hard
remember a long time ago, So I guess I'm not sure if he wants to be named, so I won't say his name. But he had graduated from Art Center, and he said the first year they didn't actually learn that much, and it was really frustrating. But it was on purpose, and the whole point of the first year was to weed out the shitty students who wouldn't stay. So they made it so you don't learn that much, and you just get really frustrating assignments. And then the second year they actually teach you everything, because it's like
Bullshit. Like, well, why would you do that?
Actually, that's kind of... Well, actually, you know what? It saves the trouble for the kids who end up staying in forever. See, and the whole way through, see? Because I've witnessed people who draw in, like, I kid you not, graduating with, like, freaking elementary school level work. And
there are some artists that... Yeah. There are some artists that won't even... They've got the money. They won't even flinch at $200,000 for an education. But they also don't appreciate it. They don't appreciate it. So you need a school that makes you work hard to succeed. It makes you work hard to appreciate what you have. So yeah, you want it to be difficult.
But with Art Center, I don't think it's easy to get a scholarship, and you can only get like maximum 1 year or something weird. There's some weird thing about scholarships.
Siege keeps getting booted, or is that old?
I'm back now, but I can't share. I can't screen share anymore.
Franco Jaime maybe says, "How tall is Cynics?" He's really tall, right?
3 apples high.
Did you say 3 apples high?
3 apples high. 33 and a half apples high. How about that?
3 apples high and a pear around.
Oh, man.
Like half a banana.
Aren't you glad we don't use that as a measurement for height?
What, bananas?
Yeah, I'm totally like 22 bananas tall this year. I was dating this girl once, and she was like 43 and a half avocados. She was hot.
But that's actually a lot better than like a king's foot, man. Everybody knows how tall avocado is, you know? It's like pork, you know what I mean? Like the avocado, man. You can't get it wrong.
I'm 6'1".
I forgot we were talking about something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's very tall. You're very tall, Cynics.
I'm not that tall. But
Bob,
I slouch.
Bob, you're taller than Cynics, right?
Probably just by like very low.
Yeah, I heard Bob is
6'2",
giant.
6'3".
Yeah, he's huge.
He's a basketball player.
That's what she said.
Oh, who's that?
Give us 2 bananas.
You should have flipped after you said that.
Yeah, I wanted to see that guy dancing.
Yeah. Every time someone makes a joke, just like put it on hockey. Like,
Like,
oh no, you didn't. Oh yeah. No, it's not flipping enough.
I'll make a gift for you guys after this.
Oh, Moku asks, how do you keep
can you
control?
zoom out again? Zoom out real quick. I'm gonna take a screenshot of it. There you go. All right, you're good.
What are they asking you?
Make your own.
Yes, if I can amuse myself.
What did they be ask?
Moku says, how do you keep control of your digital work, working on a single layer, back and forth between ink, drawing, colors, pure madness? I think everyone's different. We all have different processes.
Yeah. I see some people that just use like a layer for every little detail, and some people will use one layer for everything.
I like to do that to just have as few layers as possible.
Yeah, me too.
I think if you try to go more like an illustration approach, you go just straight, like a traditional. But if you're going like comic art, then you want to have clean lines and stuff. You want to utilize all the tools because it actually helps make it faster. It makes your work efficient. So it depends on what you want to do.
Also depends on what.
I always start with a Photoshop document with over 432 files in it.
Oh.
I like to start complicated.
Damn.
I just have a file that has every single possible line, and then I slowly go through and delete the ones I don't like.
Go backwards.
Actually, I had a friend. He draws comics professionally,
Where
he has like he's got hands, like pre-drawn hands and pre-drawn weapons and cloaks and stuff, and he just like cuts and pastes them. He's a really good artist. Yeah, it's all clip art in Photoshop. So he's got like some of his Photoshop files have like thousands of layers in them.
You can kind of do that with Manga Studio now. I know they come with like poses
Oh man,
of 3D models, and you just spin them around.
it seems like so much work.
it is kind of like if you
Yeah, why don't you just draw another hand? Come on, man.
He's a really good artist. He's just really slow.
Isn't that gonna make him a bad artist though? You know, if you're relying on tools like that.
He did run into a problem at some point where his drawings just look really cold.
He was at a convention and someone asked him to draw something, and he was like,
No, I mean,
come on, man, it's just a hand.
He's a much better. Like he draws really well traditionally. It's just I think he thinks it's faster to do the clip art method, but it makes your pages look really cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've tried that technique, and it slows me down so much. You spend 10 years mastering figures and stuff, and then you try to use figures like models and stuff. I'm like spending 2 hours trying to mold a sitting position. I'm like, crap, I can do this in like 2 seconds, you know? If you get good at... I'm tired.
Ray Ribbon asked, does anyone know anything about Van Arts? It's a good school. Van Arts.
Oh.
It's an animation school in Vancouver.
I know a lot
it
about
seems
Van Art.
pretty good for character animation. Seems like the students know what they're doing, so I think it's okay.
I graduated from Man Art.
And not yet, but one day.
Someday you can come to Man Art, Sycra.
Then your animation will be a different story, just you wait.
What are we talking
When
about?
my powers descend upon the earth.
We're talking about Man Art.
When our powers combine.
Oh, it's Captain Planet. How do you make the transition from a common artist to the professional artist?
Oh, well, when someone asks you to do work for them, that's when you start becoming professional.
Yeah. When someone says, I will pay you,
money
then you
from
say,
your-
I'm a professional.
Yeah. When your uncle comes by and says, "Hey, draw the dog. I'm gonna give you $5." I'm a professional.
Pretty much.
Because professional just means you make money off of your work.
Yep.
Yeah, totally. What?
So I got people coming up to me like, "Man, dude, that's professional level right there. You should work on mangas." I'm like, "But that's what I do."
Oh. Yeah. Can you guys show us how you hold your pen when you draw? Are there any special ways to hold it?
Do you know how you write like your name? That's how I hold it. The way I write my name. Write your name.
You know how you hold a pencil or a pen? Yeah, that's how I hold it.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't think you can work with a digital pen as you
Yeah.
You hold it like
Yeah,
I
a
hold my stylus just from the tip
It just
to the
doesn't
back end.
work. I use the side of it. Yeah.
Use the side of your style.
Okay, Roxandria Truth has determined to get this answer. To each of you, what is the importance of telling a story with each piece you do?
Oh, that's a good one.
Important.
What?
What is the importance of telling a story with each piece you do?
That's really good.
She
I
knows
think it
mine,
always
right?
helps pop. Pop.
To me, that's like the difference between doing a study and actually doing a piece of art, is there's a story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you'd hope so.
Well, there should be anyway. I mean, there should be, something. And usually that's where the art gets better, too. It's where you start, I don't know, because it helps you kind of process it and develop it. Get all those details. That makes art fun.
I think that's what makes you professional. Oh.
That's what makes you professional.
Someone asked a question and I saw it, but I can't find it. But anyway, it was something like, what are all your guys' individual weaknesses? I thought it's a pretty interesting question. I know mine. It's consistency, right, so Nix?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine is consistency. No, mine's laziness.
Yeah, yours is laziness. What's yours, Will? What's your weakness? Don't say chocolate.
Damn. This comes out swinging.
Get him. Get him, Will.
Get it, boy.
He's got the dancing. Yeah. My weakness. A year ago, I would have said that I was. I don't know. I can't tell you.
Have you pretty much like killed all your weaknesses?
No, no, I still got plenty. Honestly, I think what I've realized in the last couple months is that I've stopped being bold. Like I've kind of realized that I've been afraid lately.
Really?
Afraid to try, to take a leap.
But you
I
do
used to.
storyboard stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's really bold.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like I used to just, if I wanted to do something, I would just go do it, and I was always pretty like fearless about it. But I've noticed since I got married, I'm more aware of how my actions have consequences on other people, and so I'm like, I've learned to be more patient and more like cautious and think about stuff more. But it's also like made me less bold. Like I don't just jump into, some crazy adventure like I used to.
If someone just gave you like $2 million, what would happen with your art then? What would change?
I would probably still do YouTube videos. I just really upgrade and maybe hire other people to help me make better content.
No, but I mean in terms of being more bold, in terms of your art.
Oh, I would travel the world. I would love to meet people everywhere I go.
Oh, that's what you mean in terms of being bold. Oh, I thought you meant like you would draw different things, maybe.
No, I would like to do more like graphic novels. And right now, I have to think about if a graphic novel is going to make money or not before I jump into it.
Oh.
And so it'll probably be another year or two before I'm comfortable with that.
How about you, Jet? What's your weaknesses?
Don't ask me.
Being put on the spot.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Speaking is my number one weakness, but I think I don't draw very much backgrounds. Or weakness, I guess.
You draw really nice backgrounds when you do, though.
Nah.
It's painting with dirt. That's my problem.
You draw really good frogs. You're not allowed to show your frogs, right?
Nah.
Damn.
We'll show when time comes. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say your weakness is not drawing backgrounds?
Yeah, I don't draw backgrounds very often.
And you think that's your weakness?
You mean like in art? In terms of art, I got a lot of weaknesses.
Oh.
But, yeah. You mean as a person?
I didn't know what we were talking about.
Well, yeah, we're just talking about in art, what are your weaknesses? That's why I was asking, and you're like, oh, I wish I could travel, and I'm like, yeah.
Will's weakness is listening.
Art.
My artistic weakness is that I don't finish things.
Oh, really?
I don't stick with a project long enough to like finish it.
You're a quitter.
Not a quitter. I just get distracted easily.
Sounds like a quitter.
Sycra was like asking you about like your storyboard. Is like, why does he keep bugging me about that storyboard? Like, what does that got to do with anything?
Right.
My weakness is.
What are your weaknesses? The back of my knee.
My armpits.
I still have twinge in my back. That's a weakness, right?
How about you, Siege? What's your weakness?
I don't even know. Like, I mean, I have so many. But
Japanese girls.
Oh. Japanese girl. It's different. All right. I don't know. When it comes to art, what is my weakness? I get nervous, and then I kind of like get stuck with my work. Like I start overthinking things, and I feel like I can't do something, and so then I just won't do it. even though if I just did it, it would happen and it'd be okay. And that happens to me all the time, and it's stupid.
So
I
I
just
feel
end
like
up
your problem might be getting started on things.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I feel like you're always like, oh, I want to do this, want to do that. Like, just do it, just do it, just do it.
Yeah, it's a mind game thing, because I can do it once I start, and I know it too. It's just I never freaking start. It's just stupid.
Man.
Well, we know Cynic's weakness is laziness, so what's yours, Marius?
Fear of being wrong. Gestures, like expressing force through my gestures.
Wow.
Oh man, there's like a lot. I'm really like I've never been satisfied with my work, like never.
That's a strength, I would say.
What?
I don't know.
What unhappiness?
Never being sad. Unhappiness is a strength.
Isn't it? Like it
No, I
forces
was
you to
just
keep pushing
referring that.
yourself.
I was just saying that. I was trying to say that I have a lot of flaws, so there's just too many to.
Oh, my dentist had a lot of flaws.
What?
How about you?
But his strength is he can dance.
How about you, Bob? What's your flaws or weaknesses? Sorry.
I think one of the biggest ones is that I don't trust myself to make decisions. It's very similar to Siege, where it's just like I'm doing something and then just like, oh, what if I do this? And then what if this other decision is better? And then I just get stuck. And yeah. That's probably my biggest thing.
Bob is the worst for picking names in video games.
I know.
You, like, start a new character and you have to name your character.
This is what happened. It's like I start the game and I'm trying to name the character and literally I could not go any further and I'm just going like, Sycra, you gotta help me name a character, man. I can't play this game. I know.
You just didn't play the game because you couldn't get past. Like you couldn't think of the name, so you just didn't end up playing it.
No, I just didn't play the game. Help me think of names, man. I can't
I'd love to see the Amazon review for that. You're like, this game looked like it was pretty great, but I couldn't play it because I couldn't think of a name. Like 1 star.
I had a very similar problem with Mass Effect or any game where you have to create a character because I'm super picky about visual stuff. So I literally restarted the game like 10 times because I kept going, I don't like her nose. I feel like it could be slightly better.
The worst part is just like when it's just the front view, it's okay, but in Mass Effect they have this reveal shot.
I know, and I'm like, nope, going back.
No, gotta restart.
Restarting. I just watched the 10-minute intro and I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah.
Well,
You guys have some deep-rooted issues. God damn.
My shepherd is a beautiful princess and she needs to be represented as such.
So I take it you never actually played Mass Effect all the way through.
Partway through, he said having regrets.
I did.
Did you finish Mass Effect?
Well,
Were you able to get
I didn't
past
play
it?
the 3rd game, so I guess no.
But you were, but you got past the naming, and that.
I did. I got past the naming.
Yeah. Okay.
Congratulations.
It probably took me most of the time on that.
By yourself though, you didn't get help.
Yeah.
Okay, you're better.
You didn't have to download a name generator.
Gets into an actual fist fight with the generator.
Oh. All right. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. But I want to go ahead and thank all my special guests, starting with Bob Meatbag. Marius and his dancing dwarf.
Dance!
Dance,
dwarf!
Oh, shit. Okay.
Dance faster! Dance for us, monkey.
Take us out of here, Marius.
We got Robert Stacy and his sarcasm.
I think that's me.
We got Siege. That's what Siege says, and we got Jet, who I like.
Cambodia.
Cambodia.
And finally, Will.
Mate, he would.
All right, and a special thanks to all y'all who were watching.
And a special thanks to Sycra.
Oh.
He's the best.
No, to the viewers, so they feel special.
Fuck
Get
it.
it?